Imagine you're a footballer. You know how to kick the ball and control the ball. You know some of the special rules like throw-ins and corners, and you know that goalkeepers are allowed to use their hands. And so you go out to play a game with some friends. Very quickly you realise that football isn't very much fun without one of these. Unless you have a goal, something to aim at, the game won't be much fun, and it's the same with chess. What are you trying to achieve by moving all your pieces about? Well, I'm going to tell you. Chess is a battle between two enemy armies, and you win the game by trapping your opponent's king. It's called checkmate. And you need to learn how to do this. You need to know the difference between check, checkmate, and stalemate. Let's get rid of most of these pieces. That's better. Let's remind ourselves of one or two things. Each square is only big enough for one piece. So this white queen on b5 can't move to a4 because a friendly piece is already there. But it can move to d3 because it can boot the enemy rook off the board. The rook is gone. OK, let's take that move back and start to think about check. Check happens when a piece attacks the enemy king, and the first thing you need to know is that you can't make a move which puts your king under attack. You can't put your king into check. In this position, the black rook attacks all of these squares, so the white king isn't allowed to move to a3 or b3. But also the other black rook attacks all of these squares. It doesn't attack the white king because the white knight is in the way. But what happens if white moves the knight? White wants to take black's rook on d3 with the knight. Is white allowed to play this move? No, white can't play this move. By moving the knight, white has placed the king under attack. This is not allowed, so let's move the knight back. So remember, you can't make a move which puts your king under attack. You can't put your king into check. Let's play a different move now, which puts the black king into check. Ah, there goes the check alarm. The white queen is attacking the black king. This is check. Of course, chess sets aren't fitted with check alarms. If you attack your opponent's king, it is polite to say check. And if you are in check, then you must get out of check immediately. There are three ways of getting out of check. Number 1. You can try to take the piece that is giving check. Here, black can get out of check by taking the white queen with the rook on f4. Often taking the piece that is giving check is the best way to get out of check. But let's take this move back and have a look at the other two ways to escape. Number 2. You can try to protect your king by blocking the check. Here, black can get out of check by moving the rook from d3 to d5. The black rook protects the king by getting in the way of the white queen's attack. Here's a question for you. If a knight attacks your king, can you block the check? The answer is no. Remember, a knight can jump over pieces. You can't block a knight check. OK, let's take this rook move back and have a look at the third way to escape. Number 3. Move the king out of check. In this position, the black king must move off the diagonal that the queen is on. The black king can move to any of these squares. The black king is safe here. The white queen isn't attacking it anymore. Let's move the king back and learn one very important rule. What if black doesn't do any of these things? What if black does something else? Can white take the black king with the queen and win the game? No, this is not how you win a game of chess. You cannot take the king. If your opponent does not move out of check immediately, then you must ask them to take their move back and play a different one. Remember, if you are in check, you must get out of check immediately. So how do you win a game of chess if you can't take the enemy king? Well, you remember that there are 3 ways to get out of check. What if you check your opponent's king and none of these 3 escape ideas works? Let's have a look at this position. It is white to move. The white rook traps the black king on the 8th rank. The king can't move forward because you cannot put your king into check. So the black king can only move to the left or to the right. Now white is going to use the other rook to win the game. Let's watch. There goes the checkmate alarm. We'd better look at why this position is checkmate. The white rook on a8 is checking the black king, so black must move out of check immediately. Let's have a look at the 3 ways of getting out of check. Number 1. You can try to take the piece that is giving check, but black cannot take the rook. The black king is too far away. It can only move 1 square at a time, and black has no other pieces. Number 2. You can try to protect your king by blocking the check, but black has no pieces to block the check. Number 3. Move the king out of check. Do you see the problem? The 2 white rooks control the 7th and 8th ranks. There is nowhere the black king can go. Black cannot get out of check. If you check your opponent's king and they can't get out of check immediately, then it is checkmate and you have won. Now that you know how to play, the most important skills to learn are how to checkmate the enemy king and how to spot your opponent's plans to checkmate your king. Finally, we must learn about stalemate. Let's look at another position. White has a king and a queen, black only has a king, so white should win this game. Let's see what happens if white moves the queen here. The check alarm didn't go off. The first thing to notice is that the white queen is not attacking the black king. This is not check. It is now black's turn to move. But the white queen is attacking all of the squares the black king might move to. Wherever black moves the king, it will be check. And black isn't allowed to put the king into check. Black is not in check, but there are no moves that black is allowed to make. This is stalemate. And the game is a draw. What a disappointment for white. So be careful when you're trying to give checkmate. Always watch out for stalemate.